tutorial from asrock.co.uk/C#. Now go ahead, and we're using the Visual C# Express Edition, which is free from the Microsoft website. Just do a search for Visual C# 2008 Express Edition and you can download it from Microsoft and install it in there. So we're going to start up a new console application here. Let's go File, New Project, or we can use the standard toolbar here and just click on New Project, Console Application, and we're going to call this Lesson Lesson 1 even, and I'm just gonna put an underscore here because I think I've already got a project by that name, and we'll click OK, and we'll just wait for that to start up and load itself into the development environment. And there we go. Now we can see here that we have some namespaces at the top here, which allows for a collection of classes in the .NET framework. For example, in the system namespace you've got the console class, and you've got the random class, a console class for working with input and output, etc. for the console, and the random class for generating random numbers, and etc. So you've got a lot of functionality here: collections, generic, the new link, and text. We don't need these for the time being. So .NET Framework provides a lot of functionality. For example, if I didn't have the system there, all I would have is what I've got in front of me here, and I couldn't really do, well, I could do some things, but I couldn't do much. For example, if I type in here console dot, there's no IntelliSense because I've no access to console here, and if I just mouse over here, it'll complain and say, mouse over this, it'll say using system, yes, and it'll include system namespace up here. So then the console class becomes available. You can see classes are in green, and keywords are in blue, using to tell it what important the system namespace. Well, that's a namespace. A namespace includes a collection of classes. Classes include a collection of functions, for example methods, indexers, properties, data members, enumeration types, etc. Now the entry point for a C# application is the main function here. This will start to execute from here. Now I'm going to just add a new item here, and I was hoping it would say existing item. Add an existing item, this is what I want, and it's in here from something I was doing earlier. I need to get some code out of here. I'm going to add both of these, right? I'm going to add them. No. So if I go to my Solution Explorer here, I should have access to this code file. So I'm going to open that up again. Lesson 1, code file. I want this one. I'm going to replace. Right, yeah, so I'm opening this up. Now I'm going to take this out of here, because this is the example I want to talk about. Copy. I'm going to close that file and paste it in here. Paste. Now I'm going to talk about this, and I'm going to, these are commented out. You can see the comments, 2 /slashes, / are comments which are in green, which the compiler will ignore. So I can just uncomment that by using the text toolbar here. This is for comment and this is for uncomment. So I could comment them again, but double comments, or uncomment, and then it becomes code again there. Now let's just have a look at this code here. As I said, we've got the system namespace, we've got our namespace, lesson 1, we've got a class program, and within the class we've got the entry point for the application, which is a static void, the main function. Now this takes an array of strings and the identifier is args. So args now means an array of strings. For example, down here there's three identifiers, S1, S2, S3, and they are strings. So S1 is a string which is hello, as we see here, but string args here, args is an array of strings which are passed in to this program at the command line. Now we'll look at the command line later, but just to mention that's what that's about. And the main here returns void, which means it doesn't have a return value. Right? It could return an integer. For example, down here I could put return space 0. Return 0. Now if I were to run that in the debugger, the build errors, no. Since lesson program returns void, the return keyword must be followed by an object expression. Right, so it's saying here, it says void here, so you can't return, anything. So if I were to change this to an int return value and then press F5 and run it here, that'd be fine, it wouldn't complain. And we're going to look at what this means in a minute. In fact, why don't we just look at it now? Okay, so we've got, to just mention that again, the main function can return something, but I've got to say that it's returning something. Otherwise, this is void and we don't have a return value. Now, and static means that it doesn't have to be called on a class instance. It can just be, it's within the program class, so we don't need to call it on a class instance or on the name of the class program. Right, so let's look at this. Console.write hello C# enthusiast. Now that's the first line there. The next line here, console.write hello C#. So we've got hello C#, and then enthusiast is put out to the end, and we go to the next line. So the write function, which is a static function in the console class, there's 17 different types. Overloads are determined on the basis of the parameters which are passed in, the parameter signature, but we'll talk about that later. So the write function taking a string value, and it does not output a new line, it does not go to the new line after it outputs its string. So it says hello C#, and then it doesn't go to the next line. It then puts enthusiast at the end of that line, and write line outputs a new line. That's why this first one here goes hello C# enthusiast and goes to the next line. For example, if I were to change this, let's just stop debugging first. Stop debugging in the T# toolbar, and we'll just change that to write and run this, and you'll notice that hello C# enthusiast is on the same line, because the write function doesn't output a new line. Right, it just waits for this here to be put on the end. Hello C# enthusiast, hello C# enthusiast. Then we get to the end of this write line function, and it goes to the next line. And you'll notice here, write line function, we have hello, and this is \n, which is an escape sequence character, which means a new line. \tab means put a tab in. So we have \n means put a new line in. So after hello there will be a new line, C#, and then after C# there's another new line, escape sequence. So we'll go enthusiast, and then the write line function outputs a new line, and we go down to, well, down to here. So let's just find where we are. Hello C# enthusiast, hello C# enthusiast, hello C# enthusiast. 3 times hello. So we're here at the end of here. We're down at hello here. Now, I've created 3 variables, S1, S2, and S3, and they are string types. And hello S1, this is the assignment operator. This equals. It's not the equality operator. It's the assignment operator. If you're testing for equality of 2 objects, you use two equal signs. If you're assigning, now the assignment means one equal sign, which means S1, wherever the program sees S1 from now on, it will mean hello, right? Unless S1 is changed. So here the console.writeLine here, another version of writeLine. You can see it takes a string and 3 object arguments, any objects, right? And you can see here we've got position 0, 1 and 2. These are positions in positions like array-like positions. So position 0 will simply be S1, position 1 here will be S2, and position S3 here will be position 2 here. 0, 1 and 2, positions 0, 1 and 2 in an array-like format. Arrays are indexed from position 0 in most programming languages and including C#. So that's why we have here hello C# programmer, hello C# programmer, hello C# programmer. We've got hello in here, then we've got a new line, C#, new line, programmer, hello, new line, C#, new line, programmer. And then console.readLine here simply means that we're waiting for some input from the user. So there's a quick introduction to a very simple structure of a C# program, and so all we needed there was the system namespace at the top in order to allow us to access the functionality of the console class and its overloaded write and writeLine functions. And that'll be enough for a first lesson. So thank you for watching. There are more tutorials at asrock.co.uk // C#.